I mean, they're always, sort of, fired up people, but they are so excited, even this morning we did the country awards, the guys from Uruguay, the guy from Chile, the guy from Puerto Rico, the guy from Mexico, these guys were just jumping up and down, and they're so excited, to be winning the awards, to be here, and, it's great. Business is doing great for them, and it's doing, great for us. And at the end of the day, I think that's a really important thing. But they're also, they're excited about where we're going. Cloud is very interesting for Latin America. It's we talked a little bit about it in a meeting earlier. In that, in some countries, companies are very worried about moving data to the cloud because they're worried about the security. Mm-hmm. There are places when I was in Chile, I met with this partners who were working with a company down there. The company was excited to move it to our data center because they thought it would be more secure. And so it sort of flips around. They know that our data center is earthquake proof. Yeah. They know that our data center has redundant power. They know that it has twin internet connection and all that stuff. And so the redundancy in that, it's just better than what they can build themselves.
So in Brazil, right? Is the data center in Brazil that they just opened?
Well, so there's the one in Brazil. It's not open yet, I don't believe. But we're building one there. But these guys are running we've had Office 365 now there for a few months. I was looking at the list to get ready for you guys, and so it really is everywhere. Office 365 is Chile, is Venezuela, obviously Brazil and Mexico, but it was basically everywhere. Uruguay.
In Argentina also was open.
Argentina, yeah. I had a great visit to Argentina. We came down to Buenos Aires in September last year. It was fantastic. So that's right, and that's where I saw you.
Yes.
What's the challenge for Microsoft in South America?
What's the challenge? I tell you from my discussions, I work with the Latin America team quite a bit. They tell me their biggest challenge is keeping up with the demand for technical individuals. The partners don't have enough capacity. And so they're all what's like when I was in Chile, we did a roundtable with some partners, and one of the partners had just hired one of the employees from the other guy's company. And so what's happening is, then it wasn't nasty, but there was clearly a little tension. And so what's happening is, that starts to drive. It's great that there's demand, but that starts to drive things like inflation and skills and that sort of stuff.
Right.
And but there's incredible opportunity, and a lot of these countries have a great tradition of computer science. Costa Rica, Argentina, Brazil clearly. It's great computer science in Mexico, and so it's helping the governments in terms of, that's what's going. We talked about today, Laura Ipsen's presentation. We talked about the work we're doing with the national plans to try and help the governments get more technically educated individuals out into the workforce. It helps the government because it'll boost the economy. It helps the partners because they can now find enough people. And it helps Microsoft because it's helping drive our business. So it's in everyone's best interest.
Is it part of the reason why there's so much investment on Microsoft's part in the whole education area?
It's a big piece of it, yeah. I mean, and it's not just about Microsoft technology. We'll fund a lot of very basic things around programming, just helping people learn how to program, and and it could be in a Java language or something like that. But just getting people to learn how to program is really good. I mean, the numbers, the growth in Latin America, most countries are growing over 20% a year right now. So the growth is fantastic. And the region has a history, of course, of huge ups and huge downs. But generally, things are very positive. I was talking with the woman who won the Venezuelan Country Partner of the Year. And there are places like Venezuela that are a bit of an exception. It's a difficult country to operate in. I know more about it because my brother-in-law is Venezuelan, and so he actually went to the military school growing up with Chavez,
Oh, yeah?
and so he's got lots of great Chavez stories. And but I think even Venezuela is starting to open up as a real technology economy. I don't know. You guys know more than me, but what do you think? You don't know?
Venezuela.
Well, I tell you, the partners down there are growing. The Microsoft country is growing well.
There is government-driven initiatives to kind of get like everybody on like some sort of basic communication and some sort of PC. There's like centers of contact centers. Centers. I mean, those sort of things go on there. But yeah.
Okay.
It's more from the public side, I think, than from the private. But I guess that still drives demand for.
It does. It's skills.
Yeah, or something. But,
all right. So what else do you guys want to talk about? My kind of view of the region. It's exciting. It's dynamic.
The long-term strategy for the region. Do you have an overview?
Well, let's see. I don't think the long-term strategy for the region is radically different than the long-term strategy for the world. I think one of the cool things about cloud computing is it makes the world a smaller place. And, so that could be, now that we've got Office 365 there, what we're trying to do with cloud computing, it's the same as what we're trying to do in Denmark or China, right? Windows 8, we'll be driving in and trying to bring our Windows 8. The Windows 8 will be released, I'm sure, in all these countries at the same time. And we announced that general availability towards in the fourth quarter of this calendar. And I'm sure that there will be, if you look at the hardware that. There used to be some different hardware manufacturing down in Latin America. There's still some in Brazil. I know some PC manufacturers, but most of it's the same stuff that's everywhere else, right? It's HP, Lenovo, Dell.
What about Surface?
So the Surface, what we said about Surface is that it will be available from Microsoft stores, physical stores, and we've announced that we're going to open a store in Puerto Rico. And so it will certainly we'll be selling in Puerto Rico. We've also announced that we'll be selling it on the websites where we have retail websites. And so most of the countries in Latin America, you can go on to Microsoft.com and you can buy things off of our website.
when is this going to be the opening of the store in Puerto Rico? When is that going to happen?
The store, we can get you the exact date. I know we've committed to it. Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
The availability of the Surface will be the actual availability of the Surface.
So the availability of the Surface, we have not committed to a date on. Okay,
But will be this year.
Hey, come on in.
Will be this year.
That's certainly my hope.
It's not sure that.
Well, I'm not the right person to commit to that. So, but there's incredible excitement about it. And it's good to see. It's good to see. I think partners are excited to see that they see it as us partially pushing the envelope in design. Steve talked about how there's this boundary between software and hardware, and where the two come together, we have not played as strongly as we might have, and